Hello there guys, welcome to one of my videos. On this video there is lots to negotiate about. So I am going to be giving you the breaking news on Jadon Sancho. Then I'm going to be giving you the latest news on Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba. There's actually no negativity coming out regarding Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba and all of that. Of course, I've done two videos today. This morning, I give you my starting 11 prediction ahead of the Bournemouth game tomorrow. And my second video, I give you my reaction to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference. I think that video now is nearly uploaded and that. So anyway, let's give you the news on Jadon Sancho from Borussia Dortmund. So, according to recent reports, Jadon Sancho has agreed personal terms with Manchester United. And reportedly, he has agreed a 5-year contract with the football club worth around £140,000 a week, increasing to £200,000 a week of the course of the deal and that. And this story is actually stemming from Ian McGarry, who is a transfer expert. I think also to Duncan Castles, he's confirmed it as well. Duncan Castles tends to be very, very close to Manchester United. So, we now could be signing Jadon Sancho in the summer transfer window. Like I said, he is our number one priority target. And we have been in for Jadon Sancho for so long. We first expressed our interest in him in 2017. Don't forget there was also stories coming back in February, or was it early March? And they had allegedly said that Jadon Sancho had agreed almost every detail of a move to Manchester United. He said the only thing that hadn't been agreed was the actual fee. Because like I said to the fee has been a stumbling block. Of course, Borussia Dortmund do value Jadon Sancho at around £115 million. It recently said that Dortmund want around £117 million for him. Don't forget, Sky Sports did recently say that, we was only willing to pay £50 million for Sancho, nothing more. Don't forget, he was recently left out of Borussia Dortmund's new kit launch, Jadon Sancho. But yeah, we have said quite a few times we are not willing to smash our transfer record for the player. But, Jadon Sancho did reveal that if he does leave Borussia Dortmund, his preferred option would be a move to Manchester United. And I've already outlined the reasons why I take Jadon Sancho at Manchester United is because he is well proven in the Premier League. Plus, he's got a very, very good friendship with Marcus Rashford, and he is predominantly a right winger. And Manchester United are in search for a right winger. But, we have been working on Jadon Sancho's contract for quite some time, and we've also, been in negotiations with his agent. And the other positive is that, now Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool has distanced himself away for Jadon Sancho. Also to Pep Guardiola at Man City. He's distanced himself away from getting Jadon Sancho because there were stories coming out a few weeks ago saying that Jadon Sancho was open to making a return to Manchester City. Sancho is a former Manchester City player. He endured around 2 years with Manchester City, but he never got assured any first-team opportunities. So that's the main explanation why I left Manchester City to join Borussia Dortmund. Dortmund only paid £8 million for him, so Dortmund got him for next to nothing. But obviously, analysing his performances in the few years he's been with Dortmund, his valuation has persistently grown. Sancho still got a contract with Dortmund until 2022. Sancho this season I think has got 20 goals and 20 assists. So, he can score goals. And he is only at the age of 20 is Jadon Sancho. But Dortmund did say that they will not step in Jadon Sancho's way if he does want to leave. The Borussia Dortmund CEO, he recently came out and said that he expects Jadon Sancho to stay at Dortmund for next season, but he said if he still wants to leave Dortmund, a move will be negotiated. You had Lucien Favre, the Borussia Dortmund boss, earlier on I think it was last month, Lucien Favre came out and said that Jadon Sancho could still leave Borussia Dortmund in the summer transfer window. Like he updated you recently, Borussia Dortmund had set their deadline for Sancho, and it says Sancho's got to decide on his future before the start of next season, because Dortmund did say they will not sell him next season, and all of that. We've already made a promise to Sancho anyway. I think if he comes to Manchester United, he will get given the number 7, because I think he'd fulfill that number 7 really, really well. We have had number 7 vacant for, a while. And, we have had a lot of good number 7s up and down the generations. And I'm very, very convinced that Jadon Sancho can follow them footsteps. Borussia Dortmund are known as a selling football club. They have let quite a few of their players go to the Premier League in recent years. There's also players that they've let go who didn't go to the Premier League. The Daily Express did say earlier on today that, we was willing to take a £135 million loan, or we have taken around a £135 million loan to fund the move for Sancho. And it did also recently say we've got to sell 5 players to fund the move for him. Because Dortmund have said they do want at least £100 million for him. Don't forget, quite a few weeks ago now, Sancho had got fined £8,000 for breaking lockdown rules. And at that point, Dortmund did say they was losing their patience with him. Of course, Dortmund are close to getting Jude Bellingham, or have signed Jude Bellingham now, like he updated you earlier on today. Reportedly, Dortmund are set to get Jude Bellingham for around £20 million. And I think Bellingham's expected to sign a 5-year contract. So we have missed out on Jude Bellingham because we was in for him for the last couple of months. During the press conference today, Solskjaer was asked, about Jude Bellingham and that, and he refused to comment on Jude Bellingham. But yeah, Manchester United, have missed out on him. We have looked at a few alternatives to Jadon Sancho, if we do miss out on him, but I don't think, I think there's a great chance we'll get him now with the terms and that being agreed. But there is cheaper solutions than Jadon Sancho, so let's just put that into the equation. So if reports are to be believed, it's looking likely Jadon Sancho is going to be our first signing in the summer transfer, for the summer transfer window. And it looks like, he's going to be our 6th signing under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era, because so far Solskjaer's recommended 5 players into the football club and spent, just over £200 million. So if we get Sancho for like 100 million, that's going to take our spending under Solskjaer to over £300 million. But obviously, we're not going to get Jadon Sancho on the cheap. Last summer Solskjaer brought Daniel James, Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in, and in January brought Bruno Fernandes and Odi Nagalo in and that. But he is looking to build on this. But Sancho would do very, very well for us, and I think he'd go very, very well alongside the likes of Rashford, Anthony Martial, and Greenwood in our attacking line. But it's beneficial for him, coming back to the Premier League, it really, really is. And, if he comes to Man United, he will be coming back to Manchester and that. So that is the latest news on Jadon Sancho. Like I said, at one point, Chelsea were in for him, but I don't think Chelsea are no longer in for him now. He was actually, a boyhood Chelsea fan, was Sancho. But I said if he'd have gone back to London, I think, he would have gone to Chelsea. Of course, he began his footballing career in London, with Watford. He was at Watford for several years. But I'm really delighted, the way he has progressed. Now, let's give you the news on Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba. Like I said earlier on, there's negativity coming out regarding them. Reportedly, Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba are now injured after a training ground collision in training. So that means Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba are likely to miss the game tomorrow against Bournemouth. This is, very, very bad news. Especially, on Paul Pogba, because Paul Pogba's just recently recovered from an ankle injury that he had earlier on in the season. And I don't know how severe the injuries are, but, since the resumption of the season, Paul Pogba has done very, very well for us. Made a fantastic impact when he came on in the 1-1 draw against Tottenham. He also did well in the 3-0 game against Sheffield United, created the most chances. He did well in the game against Norwich when he came on. He also, did very, very well in the Brighton game, did Paul Pogba and that. And we know he's staying at Manchester United, probably going to be here for next season as well. But the combination between Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes has just been absolutely exceptional. I'm also very, very disappointed, about Bruno Fernandes, being injured. Bruno Fernandes has enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. And he's definitely, made the difference in the team. Bruno Fernandes has scored twice in our 3-0 win against Brighton. Bruno Fernandes had scored twice in our 3-0 win against Brighton. And I think that take his tally to like 5 or 6 goals for Manchester United since he came in. We got Bruno Fernandes in January. We got him in a deal worth £65 million with add-ons included. And I think he did sign a 5.5-year deal at the football club with Bruno Fernandes. And, he's very infectious. Like Neville was recently saying, he's like 2 plays in 1. And definitely, the foreseeable future for the football club is Bruno Fernandes. I think he's been given man of the match in nearly every single Premier League game. Reflects on his good performances. Also got Premier League Player of the Month for February. So Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba are now injured. I've just read this news up. So they're probably not going to be playing in the Bournemouth game tomorrow. Solskjaer's confirmed anyway. He's going to be making some rotation in the game tomorrow against Bournemouth. I am hearing now that Odion Ighalo's set to start the game. Odion Ighalo is set to start the game against Bournemouth. I think Odion Ighalo's also done very, very well for us since we got him on loan from Shanghai Shenhua in January. He's done very, very well for us. I think he got like 5 goals now in 4 starts for the football club. I think 3 of those goals have come in the FA Cup. But we made the right decision by getting Odion Ighalo in on loan. We really, really did. Like I said, quite a few weeks ago now, it had confirmed that we'd extended Odion Ighalo's loan for until the end of January 2021. We've got no obligation to buy Ighalo, or there is no option to buy, so after his loan spell with us, I presume he'll go back to Shanghai Shenhua, will Odion Ighalo, he'll go back to Shanghai Shenhua. I heard that Daniel James is set to start the game as well against Bournemouth tomorrow. He hasn't started, the last couple of games at least. We've obviously, been playing Mason Greenwood ahead of Daniel James. To be quite honest with you, Daniel James has needed a rest, hasn't he? Because I think Solskjaer's overplayed Daniel James this season. I think he's played, just under 40 games in all competitions this season for us. He's enjoyed a very, very good season, don't get me wrong. I think he's exceeded expectations as Daniel James. We got him from Swansea last summer for £15 million. So definitely, was a cheap solution. Daniel James can play on the left and he can also play on the right. He's more effective from that left-hand side, but for the vast majority of this season, we have been playing Daniel James on that right-hand side and that. So, Solskjaer did say, he'd like to, go with the team, that beat Sheffield United 3-0 and, beat Brighton 3-0 and that. And I think he will either go with the exact same team or he'll just make a couple of changes in that. Obviously, he isn't going to make a hell of a lot of changes, he's Solskjaer and that. So, probably, will make a couple of changes in that, But yeah. Of course, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's also said that we haven't got an easy run in, because you've heard a lot of Manchester United fans saying that we've got the easiest run in, in the Premier League. I said it as well, that we've got an easy run in the Premier League. We've got now 6 games remaining. I think in reality, we should win at least 5 of our 6 remaining games. But Solskjaer, did say, we ain't got an easy run in. We haven't got an easy running because he says we've got points to prove against the teams that we struggled against earlier on in the season. Now, Solskjaer was also asked, is Bournemouth going to be a difficult game? And, he says, we need to be careful against Bournemouth. They're beating us earlier on in the season at the Vitality Stadium 1-0. Obviously, after Bournemouth, we've got Aston Villa. I think it's Aston Villa. We drew 2-2 with them earlier on in the season. Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace is upcoming as well. We lost to them at home earlier on in the season. Southampton's upcoming. We drew with them earlier on in the season. West Ham's upcoming. We lost to them earlier on in the season 2-0, was it? We have lost to West Ham in the last 2 years at their stadium and that. So Solskjaer says we've got to prove ourselves against them teams. He was also talking about Mason Greenwood during the press conference, saying that Mason Greenwood is ahead of him. Of course, at the same age. That's what Solskjaer had said. And he's excited about Mason Greenwood's potential. He's getting more starts now, which is good. In the Brighton game, Mason Greenwood scored, and he also got an assist for Bruno Fernandes' third. And I think definitely Mason Greenwood is the foreseeable future for Manchester United and that. So Solskjaer also praised him during the press conference. But he did say Bournemouth, really, really struggling. But he says, they'll obviously come to Old Trafford and try and get something. And, he says they're very, very good from set plays, our Bournemouth and that. But we've got a very, very good record against them at home. We have won 7 of our 8 games against Bournemouth at Old Trafford. I think probably Bournemouth are going to get relegated. They are sitting 19th in the Premier League at Bournemouth. Bournemouth first came to the Premier League in 2015. So this has been now their 5th season in the Premier League as Bournemouth's. Of course, they have beaten us twice in the Premier League era, earlier on this season, and they beat us in 2015 by 2-1. Eddie Howe, he's spent the vast majority of his managerial career at Bournemouth. He's been there for several years, but he also spent the vast majority of his playing career with Bournemouth. Of course, I think the only other teams he was at during his playing career was Portsmouth and Swindon. And the only other club he managed in his managerial career was Burnley and all of that. But Eddie Howe could get sacked, if Bournemouth, do get relegated. Of course, they've been terrible this season. I've been very, very surprised, to be quite honest, with Bournemouth. Since the resumption of the season, they've lost their last 3 games. They recently got beat by Newcastle 4-1. They lost to Wolves 1-0 and they lost at home to Crystal Palace 2-0 did at Bournemouth. So, they've enjoyed a very, very poor season. But they are facing a relegation battle. Don't forget, earlier on, was it this week, 3 players had departed Bournemouth. Jermaine Defoe left, Jordan Ibe left and Ryan Fraser left because all their contracts did expire. Bournemouth have got a few injuries as well. They have got Charlie Daniels out. Simon Francis. They've also got Callum Wilson suspended as well, and probably Callum Wilson is one of Bournemouth's best players in that. But I've already given my prediction for the game. I think we are going to beat Bournemouth comfortably. I think we're probably going to beat them by 3-0. But this is a must-win game for Man United. If we do beat Bournemouth, we will extend our unbeaten run to 16 in all competitions. As it stands at the moment, we are unbeaten in our last 15 games in all competitions. And I think this is our best vein of form since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was the interim manager and all of that. But a lot of aspects of our game have really, really improved. We're scoring more goals now. Players have improved, especially the top players. We defensively look better as well. We're keeping clean sheets. I think we've kept 8 clean sheets in our last 13 league games or something like that. So that's very, very impressive in that. So yeah, I have been, very, very delighted. But yeah, I think, we are definitely going to beat Bournemouth. If we do beat Bournemouth, we will get into that top 4. Because it's been a very, very good week for us, because Chelsea recently lost 3-2 to West Ham and Leicester lost to Everton 2-1. Want that top 4 because we do want qualification for the Champions League for next season. And Solskjaer recently spoken about the importance of Champions League qualification. Even Solskjaer recently has being targeting a third place finish. And, we can finish third. We really, really can finish third. And it would be good, if we could get a third place finish. We can win 2 trophies under Solskjaer this season. We can win the FA Cup. And, we can also win the Europa League as well. So if we could win both of them, or at least one of them, it would be a memorable first full season for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at Manchester United. It really, really would. And, we haven't won the trophy since 2017. And that was under Jose Mourinho when we won the Europa League and the League Cup. That was in his first season, by the way. Of course, we won the FA Cup under Louis van Gaal era back in 2016. But we are into the FA Cup semi-finals. We've got Chelsea. And we're more or less into the last 8 of the Europa League. Because we are 5-0 up against Lask from the first leg. And all of that. But I've seen a hell of a lot of improvements. Solskjaer has been at Manchester United for 18 months. So, he has been here a year and a half. I think, he's been permanent Manchester United manager for around, 15 months now? It's for around 15 months now. But I've taken positives from his tenure so far, like I mentioned. So far he's brought 5 good players into the football club. He's also got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended in. The recent player to leave Manchester United was Angel Gomez. Chelsea, of course, are looking to get Angel Gomez. Solskjaer's also promoted the youth very, very well. The young players have been given their chances this season. We've done very, very well against the Big Six sides this season. We've taken 18 points against the Big Six sides this season and all of that. And I've already outlined the reasons, what saved Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job at Manchester United. You already know that. Don't you? And that. We've also extended a lot of players' contracts as well since Solskjaer came in. We really, really have, which is good. There's some players, who we've given contracts to, who we should give contracts to. And there again, on the other hand, there's, contracts we've given some players to who we shouldn't have, given to. So, yeah, but we have extended a lot of players' contracts. I still think we've got a good, 7, 8, 9 players' contracts that are due to expire next year. So we still are facing a bit of a dilemma regarding the contracts and that. But definitely, Solskjaer will be Manchester United manager next season. He definitely will be Man United manager next season. Because I said he does deserve at least another season because it is a transition period. And like I said at the start, it has been a transition period for a while. But our expectations next season will be to challenge for the Premier League title because Solskjaer recently made an admission saying that Man United have got to spend money to compete with the likes of Manchester City and Liverpool and that. Because analysing at the moment, City and Liverpool are strides ahead of us. And, this has been now the 7th season we have failed to mount any kind of title challenge up. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013. So the last time we won it was back under the Alex Ferguson era. So we haven't, won the title for 7 years. But I'm hopeful that we can get our 21st title under Solskjaer. Of course, Solskjaer's already said he wants to make around 3 or 4 major signings at the end of the season and that. Probably we're not going to make 3 or 4 major signings. But like I said, Solskjaer's got big decisions to make in the summer. He's not only focusing on the incomings, he's also focusing on the outgoings as well. Because I think we are going to get rid of at least 5 players in the summer transfer window. And I've got an idea of the players that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to get rid of. Of course, we are looking to get rid of Phil Jones. We're also looking to get rid of Smalling permanently. We're looking to get rid of Rojo permanently. We're also looking to get rid of Jesse Lingard. We're also looking to get rid of Andres Pereira. I hope we can get rid of Sanchez permanently as well, because quite frankly, there is still deadwood at the football club. I don't think, Diego Dalot is good enough for Manchester United either, and all of that. He's not good enough for Manchester United. But don't forget, Ed Woodward did say the other month that we will remain competitive in the summer transfer market. But he did say that we won't do business as usual. So he ruled out big transfers to Man United. Don't forget our net debt is just over 429 million. because our debt the other month had risen up by almost £130 million. And the coronavirus pandemic has cost us around £28 million and all of that. It cost us around £28 million. But don't forget, Solskjaer was really, really close to getting sacked earlier on in the season, because don't forget, we'd enjoyed our worst start to a Premier League season for 30 years. And at that point, when Solskjaer was close to getting sacked, there was talks of Pochettino coming in, and there was also talks of Massimiliano Allegri coming in as well. But we haven't got the structure to keep sacking managers. You know, Solskjaer is our fourth permanent manager since the Alex Ferguson era. 3 managers have been sacked since the Ferguson era, and that was David Moyes, Louis van Gaal, and Jose Mourinho on that. But I think now we are heading in the right direction under Solskjaer. And don't forget, recently Solskjaer had challenged Manchester United to go unbeaten for the remainder of the season and that. You know. But yeah, Solskjaer, you know, could emulate into next year and Klopp. You know, I don't think he'll be the next Ferguson, because I don't think anyone will replicate Ferguson's legacy at Manchester United. No one will last as long as Ferguson did either. You know, Ferguson did endure 26 years at the football club and endured 22 years of success out of the 26 years he was with us. You know, and he did win a total of 38 major honours, did Alex Ferguson that. But Solskjaer, like I said, give him time. Just got under 2 years left on his contract at Man United. Because when we gave him the job permanently in March last year, he signed a 3-year contract at the football club. So there you go. You know the news on the other transfers as well. Jack Grealish, you know, he's another one of our priority targets. We're looking to get him on the board. I was hearing stories as well saying that Solskjaer is still in search for a striker, even though the likes of Rashford and Martial have done quite well. 19 goals between them, by the way, Rashford and Martial. I think now our absentees are Pogba, Bruno, Fernandes, Phil Jones, and Alex Tuanzebe. You know, I heard that Alex Tuanzebe is out until September, and Jones is going to be out for the next couple of weeks and all of that. So there you go. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, like, explore on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.